All right, let's jump right in. Look, most startup guides, they're just too much, right? Super overwhelming. This one's different. We're going to break down a real, tactical playbook for building a company today in this new AI world. We're talking about a startup that can run leaner and grow way faster than anything we've seen before.
So this whole thing kicks off with a prediction that is, well, it's pretty wild. They're saying we're about to see the first one-person unicorn. Yeah, a single founder building a billion-dollar company. I know, it sounds like something out of a movie, but it's meant to set the stage. It shows you just how much the game has changed because of these new tools and really a whole new way of thinking about building a business.
And that's the big question, right? The billion-dollar question. So how on earth do you actually build something like that? Well, this isn't just a bunch of high-level theory. What we're doing here is a step-by-step walkthrough of a super practical playbook. It was designed by founders who are in the trenches for other founders who want to build these new, hyper-efficient companies.
Okay, so first things first. Before we get into any of the tools or the how-to stuff, we've got to talk about mindset. This is the foundation, right? It's the core philosophy that makes everything else work.
And look, this isn't just about, sprinkling a little AI on top of your old business model like it's some kind of magic dust. No way. A truly AI-native company, it's built from the ground up with automation and intelligence at its core. We're talking every single process, from how you code to how you talk to customers. That's what lets you stay so incredibly lean.
All right, so once you've got that mindset locked in, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to tackle those essential first steps. The admin work that can feel like a total drag and slow you down. But this playbook shows you exactly how to just power through it, get it done fast, and get it done right.
Okay, your first big decision, legal structure. And honestly, the playbook makes this choice surprisingly simple. It really boils down to this. Are you planning to raise money from VCs? If the answer is yes, you almost certainly need to be a Delaware C Corp. End of story. But if you're going to bootstrap it and stay lean, an LLC is probably the smarter, more tax-efficient way to go. Now, there are 3 things you have to do right away, immediately. Don't overthink this part. Just use a service like Stripe Atlas or Clerky to get incorporated. Then open a business bank account. Seriously, do it on day 1 to keep your finances separate. It'll save you a monster headache down the road. And finally, and listen up, this is super important, you have to file your 8.3B election within 30 days. Do not, I repeat, do not miss that deadline. So why all the fuss about C-Corps and that 83B thing? Well, it comes down to this number. For C-Corps that qualify for something called Qualified Small Business Stock, or QSBS, this is the amount of gain on your stock that could be completely tax-free. Yeah, $10 million. It's a huge incentive and a really powerful tool for building wealth that's kind of baked into the whole venture-backed startup journey. Okay, legal stuff, financial foundation, check. Now we get to the fun part, actually building the thing. This is where that lean, AI-native approach really starts to show its power. And the name of the game here is speed, just speed. Forget about trying to build some perfect, polished product with every feature imaginable. The only goal is to get a working version, your minimum viable product, or MVP, into the hands of real people as fast as you possibly can. Because the feedback you get from them, it's worth 1,000 times more than any feature you could dream up on your own. So how do you get that speed? Well, the playbook recommends a very specific tech stack. And you'll notice the theme here. You've got Supabase for the back end, Framer for the front end. These are super powerful low-code platforms that let you build really complex apps with a tiny team. Or hey, maybe even just by yourself. And then for all the automation, a tool like N8N becomes your secret weapon for tying everything together and even building out your own AI agents. And when it comes to managing the whole project, again, stay lean. Forget about those bloated, complicated enterprise tools. Something like Linear is perfect for tracking development tasks without all the extra junk. And Notion can basically be your company's second brain for docs and planning. The whole point is to avoid getting stuck in process and just keep building. Okay, so you've built an amazing product, but that's useless if nobody knows it exists, right? So now let's dive into how this AI-native playbook tackles marketing and growth with that exact same lean, efficient mindset.
And here's a key idea. Marketing starts on day 1. It is not an afterthought you tack on at the end. I mean, literally, day 1, go grab your social media handles everywhere. Start using AI tools like Claude or ChatGPT to help you draft some blog posts or content. And maybe the most important thing, build in public. Share your journey, the good, the bad, the ugly. It creates this amazing, authentic connection and lets you build an audience before you've even launched.
Now, when you do get to paid ads,
Whatever you do, resist that urge to just light a pile of cash on fire. Start small. I'm talking a tiny budget, maybe $100 a month. Focus on one single, clear offer. Then let AI do the heavy lifting. Use tools like MagicX to optimize your ad bidding, or AdCreative.ai to generate a ton of different ad visuals. It's all about being smart and data-driven, not just throwing more money at the problem.
But this brings us to what might be the single most important lesson in the entire playbook. For a minute, just forget all the fancy growth hacks. The most powerful, most cost-effective marketing engine you will ever have is a genuinely happy customer. Seriously, investing in amazing personal support for those first few users will pay you back 100 times over in word of mouth. It's not a cost. It's your #1 growth strategy.
All right, next up, let's talk about how this lean philosophy totally blows up one of the oldest startup assumptions, hiring. We're going to tackle what is, for most companies, their single biggest expense, payroll.
And it starts with this pretty radical question. Should you even hire anyone? I mean, think about it. The old way was always raise a bunch of money, hire a big team. But in this new AI-native world, that might actually be the absolute wrong move.
So here's the new rule. Automate first. Before you even think about writing a job description, your first instinct has to be, can I automate this? Can an AI agent handle this task? Is there a tool that can streamline this workflow? Because when you automate relentlessly, a single founder or a super small team can have the output of a company 10 times its size. And that lets you put off the cost and the headaches of hiring for way, way longer than ever before.
Now look, of course, sometimes you do need to hire to get to that next level. And when that day comes, you just apply the same lean thinking. Stick to a modern stack of tools, use something like Ashby to track applicants, Pave to figure out salary data, and Gusto to run payroll. The goal is to do it super efficiently so you can get right back to building.
And you know, when you boil it all down, it really comes back to this one final piece of advice. The startup world is just so noisy. You've got VC chatter, you've got competitors launching things, you've got the latest tech trend everyone's freaking out about. This whole playbook really is a system designed to help you cut through all that noise, focus on the only thing that matters, the signal you get from your customers, and just get back to building.
So really, this whole playbook, it's more than just a bunch of information. It's a toolkit. It's an invitation. The tools have never been cheaper or easier to use. The amount of money you need to get started is lower than ever. And the potential upside is just massive. So it really leaves you with just one question. With all this at your fingertips, what are you going to build first?